Well, I did my best to wait to come out here until the temperatures had actually dropped a little bit, but that was actually an epic fail because it's 6:40 in the evening right now. We actually have a thunderstorm on the horizon. It's probably gonna miss us, but it is completely overcast right now. And it's still 100 degrees outside with a heat index of 109. So we're gonna go ahead and brave the elements. What's up, guys? I'm Rhett. Welcome back to Lawn Insider. So what am I doing in the lawn this evening? I'm actually, besides sweating, I'm actually making an application of a few different products. First and foremost, the one I'm most worried about getting down is this Hydrotain product right here. Hydrotain, you can see there, says it's a root zone moisture manager, and if you just read the label, it says it fights droughts and high water bills and can reduce watering by up to 50% or more. I've never really tested that claim because I'm not reducing my watering over the summer. If anything, I'm watering deeper, but I do think, I've used this the past few years, I do think it does help with some drought stress, so I do want to definitely get that down because we have a lot of 100+ degree temperatures forecasted and not a lot of rain. So I'm gonna at least try to do the best to protect the lawn in whatever way that I can. The next products that I'm going to apply today are these three, and this is the RGS Root Growth Stimulator by the Next Green County Fert line, and then the Green Envy by GS Plant Foods, and the Humic Acid also by GS Plant Foods. I'll have links to any of the products I'm talking about in the description box below the video if that's something you're interested in. And then these last two over here, the Bifin IT and then Dominion 2L. I've actually already made these applications. I was due for another application of the Bifin IT. That's just my primary insecticide. So I went ahead and made that. And then Dominion 2L is what I use for my grub control. It's actually a little late in the season to put out your grub control, but I figured better late than never. So I went ahead and put that out. I put these out probably last week, 6 or 7 days ago at this point, when the turf was still more thin, so hopefully they had an easier time getting down into the soil. But the main thing I wanted to do was show y'all how the lawn was recovering from the verticutting video that I put out at this point probably 10, maybe 12 days ago. So I wanted to actually start out here in the backyard because this is the part that I verticut before the rest of the lawn. And here is how the backyard has recovered up to this point. So you can see that we are completely greened up now. We do have some dog pee damage, which is, I think, going to be there forever. Not really something that I worry about, but you can't really see a discernible difference because if you watched the last video, you'll remember that I actually verticut this part first, probably, I don't even remember, maybe 6 or 7 days before I did this part. It was either half a week or a week, but I did this part sooner than I did this part. And right now there's really no discernible difference between the two sides. Both sides have grown back really well. I've definitely had an easier time mowing with not getting those scalp marks. Now these might look like scalp marks, but like I said, those are actually dog pee spots. I have a little dachshund who sits about, 2 or 3 inches from the ground when he uses the restroom. So he tends to make marks on the turf. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that the backyard has recovered. And now let me go ahead and walk y'all up to the front. Okay, now I'm over here in the front side yard, and this is the part that I did after I did the backyard. So this is probably a couple days after the backyard. And you can see that for the most part, I'm completely greened up. The parts that aren't greened up yet, I think, is actually the same spots that end up being my hot spots when I get a little bit of drought damage or problems with droughts as the year progresses, because I know that this spot is always kind of brown like that whenever it gets really, really hot and we stop getting so much rain. And then these are pretty much the same areas where I get those spots that are usually next to my truck as well. So we'll see how those spots progress and fill in. But overall, you can see that the side yard has actually filled in really well. And again, my mows have been a lot better. Haven't had really any problems with scalping or anything like that. But I do kind of just have these random spots here and there that hopefully can take care of themselves here in the next couple of weeks. Because like I mentioned, my goal is to have this yard looking chef's kiss by 4th of July. If I have any Wiley, Texas lawn vets on here that have any tips or tricks to keeping your yard looking mint in 10, 12, 100 straight days of 100+ degree temps and very little water. Luckily though, we did get off the water restrictions. We are now, well, we're still on water restrictions, but we can now water once every week instead of once every other week. So that's actually really big. But if you have any tips or tricks, make sure you leave those below in the comment section. Hey Reed, say hi.
Hi.
Can you wave? Can you wave?
Hi.
Say hi, YouTube.
Hi.
Hi. That's my best mowing buddy right there. We try to get him out here in the evening and then in the morning when it's not too hot, but there's really no such thing as that right now, so he's just getting his physical activity in, but it's always great to have a little help in the lawn. And then finally, the piece de resistance over here in the front yard. And this is the part that I verticut most recently. So here we are definitely looking, we're around that 10-day mark. We might be a couple days more. We're a little bit behind the side yard over there, 5 or 6 days. My timelines are getting all fuzzy because it's been a while at this point. But the front yard has recovered really well too. We actually can see, I don't know if you can on camera too much, but we can actually see a little bit of striping even over there in the side yard. And we are mostly green over here. I would say maybe 80% or so. And it's progressing rather quickly. I've been mowing every couple of days. I have not put out my plant growth regulator yet, just because I want the yard to have its best chance to recover before I put that out. As soon as the yard does recover, I am going to start regulating it though, because I don't want to be out here mowing so often because the temperatures are really just killer. It's tough to be out here that often, out here mowing, doing manual labor outside for any extended periods of time. But you can see that it has recovered pretty well. And again, fingers crossed that we can get it looking its best by Independence Day. So I actually have to run the sprinklers before I make this application because the hydrotain, the yard already has to be wet before I apply it. So I don't really know how much daylight I'm working with here. I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna be able to get on film, but I'm gonna go ahead and run the sprinklers so I can get these applications down. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a like. If you're enjoying the content and you wanna continue to see more of it, hit that black subscribe button below. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those in the comment section below. I'll see you all again soon. Lawn Insider, out.